What is going on, beautiful people? I figured we'd switch it up and start something new. We are going to do a weekly review of everything that has happened in the industry from Monday to Saturday and take a little break on Sunday. So, this way, everyone can have, who doesn't get a chance to watch any videos or read any articles, they get a little bit of a compressed idea of what happens throughout the week. So, this is week one, and I will start this as a new playlist. So, diving in. Ronan Levy was interviewed basically because they started Field Trip Discovery with three new board members, all with history in Pfizer and Bayer and many major pharmaceutical industries. So they look to expand on their pipeline and drug line capabilities for turning things like MDMA and psilocybin into various drugs for mental health and other useful ailments. Um, this also helps them expand away from just ketamine and their ketamine clinic function, which brings a lot of potential, in my opinion. Moving on. Shamyon receives DTC eligibility, and I did practice that word, I promise you, but once again, I butchered it. I am sorry, Caleb, I tried. I'll get it, trust me. Anyways, a human organization sciences company focused on applying novel and natural treatment protocols to address a broad range of disorders and deficiencies with an emphasis on psychedelic medicine is pleased to announce its common shares are now eligible for electronic clearing and settlement through the Depository Trust Company. DTC is a subsidiary of the Depository Trust and Clearing Corp that manages the electronic clearing and settlement of publicly traded companies in the United States. So now they don't have to worry about all the red tape of trading pinks over the OTC. A lot of people get hung up and ask me and many others that we discuss in Reddit how they can purchase shares and why they can't find any on their trading platforms, whatever they choose to use. So this will bring some much needed clearance into giving people in, say, the United States the ability to access these shares without getting hung up. Next up, we have MindMed, and this was the biggest news of the week, in my opinion. Gave it a nice bump. Maybe it's just because I'm more partial to this company than any other for personal reasons. I try not to make this necessarily about stocks, but just the industry as a whole. But the big deal here is the 18MC for opioid addiction becoming a human basis trial for clinical trials, no longer working with rodents and no longer working with any microbials or anything like that. They have started their first human clinical trials, which will run to mid October, maybe as early as August, depending on how things go, and then they will start phase two. So once they start testing on humans, they're onto something. And I know that the opioid addiction, especially in the US, uh, it's a major problem. So I really think that this is something to be really proud of, no matter what your stance on the psychedelic industry is. But that's, the kind of situation where with the good news comes the bad. So we move on to Rodman Investment Corp, which has been suspended. They are currently suspended trading after their recent acquisition, pardon me, of a psilocybin company. I don't see the news up at the moment, but they have been suspended till the 27th due to malpractices and funny stuff going on in the background. So we will keep an eye on this and see what goes on. But you have to be careful if you want to get into this space, because right now it's the mush rush and a lot of people are trying to get in. And if you don't do your own due diligence and pick your companies carefully, you won't be able to tell which, if you are going to invest in the psychedelic market, which stocks are real and which stocks are pump and dumps. We don't want to bet on the horse, we want to bet on the jockey. So definitely look at the people behind each company. And two new tools have been provided to us to help us learn more about the psychedelic market as it matures. First up, this is a educational platform called Academia X Psychedelics, and it doesn't really touch anything on financials, but the two financial and medical industries from each perspective are quite intertwined. So this will be a good place to go to for information and resources on understanding the growing industry in itself, as well as Fractal, which has more of a uh, venture capitalist investment stock perspective where they update the information. Come on, buddy, load for me. Oh, if it doesn't load. I'll put all these links in the description so that you can all click and give it a review for yourself and some timestamps so that you don't have to watch this whole video because some of it's kind of boring. You know, pick what you want. Anyways, Fractal has a list of companies, a list of reports, and information on CEOs and who does what, where, when, and why. So that should help out a lot. And to finish off the video, the spotlight company of the week is none other than, say it with me now, Atia Life Sciences, the big boy, the father of the industry, the parent to Compass Pathways, my silver bullet. I am patiently waiting for Compass Pathways and their psilocybin research. Oh, I may preach MindMed, but it's got nothing on Compass Pathways. We don't know if you are thinking of this from an investment perspective. We don't know who's going to come first, Compass or Atia. I'm betting on Atia going public because it just makes more sense for the parent to go public, considering they hold the assets. So we shall see. Time will tell. But I hope you enjoyed the news, and let's see what the next week brings us. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend as of time of this recording. Have a good one. Peace.